Kreplak implementing the randomizer so that he could give everybody a shot at the galactic title. And you see Kreplak just showing his power. My goodness, Mark Mercutio is going to have to try a new strategy. He does not want to try and exchange power with Kreplak, because Kreplak is going to be on top in every attempt. And here is Kreplak getting the crowd involved. Look at the size of Kreplak. He's like a gorilla. And I say that as a compliment. Have you ever seen a gorilla, how muscular they are? And Kreplak has speed as well. A little bit of speed. He dodged that kick. He understands that Mark Mercutio has those lethal kicks. And Mark Mercutio, did you see that? He crouched down to the ground so that his kick would have a little bit more oomph. And he's going to need to do such things in order to defeat a man on the caliber of Kreplak. He delivers that spine buster right onto the spine of Mark Mercutio. The randomizer has done a good job in picking an opponent. This is the kind of match that I want to see. Kreplak and Mark Mercutio. The galactic title hangs in the balance. Will Kreplak regret the day that he introduced the randomizer? Could it be a result of him losing his title? The fact that he does not know who his opponent is. A cartwheel kick by Mark Mercutio. This is Victory Road Wrestling. Mark Mercutio only acquiring a 2 count. If you have not already, please tell your friends about it. Where else are you gonna see a doggy done doo-doo? And it was announced, ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode, Cindy Citrus suicide. My goodness. And speaking of suicide, a suicide dive by Mark Mercutio. On the next episode, Suicide and Cindy Citrus are gonna be in a cut hair match. The objective of that match is to cut your opponent's hair off until they are bald. So check that out on the next episode. But folks, don't skip this episode, because so far we're having an amazing episode. Mark Mercutio, Kreplak, who will walk away as the galactic title here in Victory Road Wrestling. We have 5-star matches such as this against the ropes, and Mark Mercutio using that momentum in his favor. Should have hooked the leg. Mark Mercutio, he likes to take big risks. As you can see, he's going up that turnbuckle right now. What the hell is that? Ladies and gentlemen, that is Booty T's music. He's had his issues with Mark Mercutio, and that caused a distraction enough for Kreplak to recover. Just a 2 count. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever is responsible for playing that music is going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm not sure why that happened. Kreplak goes against the ropes, then he delivers a spear onto Mark Mercutio. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to the distraction. No! Mark Mercutio returning with a vengeance. A back suplex by Kreplak. Kreplak has been such an impressive champion. Remember how well he did in that 3-way match with Betty Wallbreaker and Jenna Gemstar. Kreplak's second title reign as the Galactic Champion has been a lot better than his first. He has certainly redeemed himself, and Mark Mercutio is looking to use that momentum to give him a little bit more bragging rights. Kreplak doing a good job focusing his attention on the back and the spine of Mark Mercutio, putting his frame onto the chest of Mark Mercutio with that lateral press, but it was not enough to pick up a victory. Folks, I'm still trying to understand why Booty T's music was playing. It had no business being in this match. Irish Sheep against the ropes, and Mark Mercutio, the momentum in his favor now. Mark Mercutio is just one of the more impressive younger men. If he sticks with it, he could become a big deal. And on this episode, he could be close to becoming a big deal if he can knock off Kreplak. Mark Marcusio with a sitting power bomb. And this gives Mark Marcusio a little bit of time to rest, a little bit of time to strategize. He should have gone for the cover there. That was a very big mistake. I really believe that if Mark Marcusio had gone for the cover after that sitting power bomb, he would have won. But Mark Marcusio is going to go back up to the top rope. And what the hell is going on again? Booty T's music is playing once again, and Booty T is nowhere to be found. And Mark Marcusio being distracted, and Kreplak once again taking advantage of the situation. I don't blame him. But why the hell is Booty T's music playing a flying clothesline by Kreplak? And folks, that's it. Retaining the galactic title is Kreplak. And what a controversial ending. Let's see what happened once again. It's Kreplak cheers in victory. Let's see that again. Booty T's music distracting Mark Marcusio, and that gave Kreplak the opportunity to deliver that flying clothesline. Kreplak is still the galactic champion, but what a controversial finish, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get down to that and find out what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am standing outside of Niger Figer's locker room, and he is throwing what seems to be a temper tantrum. We will not be able to interview Niger Figer at this time, but I will continue to pursue an interview and get his thoughts.
Wow, it does not matter how many times I see this guy, I cannot help but be impressed by the size of this man, Tal Ada. He will be representing Pharoah Pharisee's team on the next Click Per View. This will be Tal Ada's biggest challenge as he takes on the dominating Barricade. Barricade has just been relentless. On the last episode, he took Jean Rick out of commission. And in fact, let's take you back to that episode. My goodness, after being victorious, Barricade just delivering an onslaught of belly-to-belly slams onto Jean Rick. Just look at this. Absolutely no mercy. And Jean Rick was forced to go to hospital. Remember, Jean Rick already had injuries sustained to those ribs, and Barricade is one dangerous cookie, and he's not gonna take on someone his own size, but he's gonna take on someone equal in intensity as he takes on Tal Ada. This is gonna be a very big challenge for Barricade, and I don't think Barricade has been manhandled the way that he just was by Tal Ada. Tal Ada, believe it or not, is gonna have a distinct advantage in terms of power. And Barricade, I understand it's his whole gimmick to say, oh, I'm not intimidated, but he has to be a little bit intimidated by the size of Tal Ada. Pharoah Pharisee has had the issues with Tal Ada, but those two are willing to put those issues aside. Look at that. Put those issues aside to get rid of the cause. The cause, in their view, have been taking things a bit too far, trying to get rid of hardcore wrestling, but it ended up costing Tal Ada and Pharoah Pharisee the Victory Road Wrestling Zimbabwean Championship. And if you have not seen that episode, I really recommend that you see it. It was a very impressive show. Pressure 30. We had an extra 15 minutes added, and Tal Ada and Pharoah Pharisee were screwed over. That's the reason why we're having this elimination match at Drowsy Drive. Right now, both teams have failed to acquire 5 members of their team, but it's very difficult to come up with 5 members here in Victory Road Wrestling. A lot of people want to do things on their own. A vertical suplex by Tal Ada. It looks as though Niger Figer is still humiliated by Boron Stone. We saw Boron Stone speaking to Daryl, a high school mate of Niger Figer, saying some negative things about Niger Figer. Another belly to belly by Barricade. This is the kind of match that I enjoy watching. Two physical attractions taking it on. Another belly to belly slam. My goodness. I briefly touched on about Talada's strength, but the amount of strength and power it takes for Barricade to deliver those belly to bellies, but he does not have enough strength to keep Talada on his shoulders. That was his second attempt and it was a failure. Barricade is so used to just overpowering his opponents that this may be a little bit of a shock for him. See, the thing about a belly to belly, that if many of you do not know, you use the momentum of your opponent to your advantage. Oh my goodness, this is exactly what Barricade is going to have to do. Deliver that submission onto Talada, a camel clutch, riding Talada as though he's a camel. And I don't think Talada has felt this kind of pain in his career. And Barricade, it doesn't look like he's going to let go of that submission. My goodness. A tug of war between these two combatants. Talada with the throat toss again, showing Barricade that he is the most dominant force in Victory Road Wrestling. This is what this match is about, to show the... My goodness. See, Talada just gave Barricade that whip onto the turnbuckle and Barricade couldn't help but fly off. And those shoulder barges by Talada. Talada is the tallest man in the entire galaxy. His penile regions are just gigantic, enough to satisfy the equivalent of a busload of women. That's how big his under regions are. And Talada is just having his way with Barricade. This is Victory Road Wrestling. There's nowhere else where you're gonna see a big match like this. Two gigantic men taking it on to show who has the bigger size, who is the bigger man. They settled their differences within the ring. And Talada against the ropes, Barricade with that belly to belly suplex. My goodness, I don't think I would have ever expected to see someone lift up Talada just like that. Talada made a big mistake. And Barricade follows it up with that full Nelson. And nobody has been able to get out of this submission. Look how awkward it looks, but it's still effective. Because Talada is in a lot of pain right now, ladies and gentlemen. That full Nelson has been cinched in by Barricade. My goodness. And Talada had no choice but to tap out, ladies and gentlemen. It does not matter how big you are. There's no way you're going to get out of that submission by Barricade once he has it locked in. What an incredible match. Pharoah Pharisee must be very disappointed in Talada as he's been defeated. Let's see that again. That belly to belly suplex, using Talada's momentum against him and then delivering that full Nelson.
Who's gonna defeat me? Who's gonna defeat me? Nobody. Nobody. When you step in the ring with Barricade, there's no hope for you. Nobody can defeat Barricade.